Hello, in this video, I'm going to give you a basic tutorial on how to set up your Televic G4 wireless conferencing system. Before we begin, if your batteries aren't sufficiently charged, please take a moment and place them in the charger now to ensure you can complete the setup without interruption. To check the status of your batteries, press the small button in the middle of the battery to view how much of a charge is remaining. To charge the batteries, simply slide them into the charging tray. The LED on the tray will begin flashing, indicating that it is charging. When the LED goes solid, the battery is fully charged. The other items you'll have as part of your system will be the wireless access point, the wireless Confidea Flex unit, which is the microphone base, the batteries, and the microphones. So let's go ahead and get it all connected. The WAP gets its power via PoE, which stands for Power over Ethernet. This means that you'll need something as basic as a PoE Plus injector, which Televic does supply, or very commonly with larger, more integrated systems, a PoE Plus network switch is typically already part of the system. Here is an example of a small network switch that could possibly work. The requirement for PoE Plus does have to be what is referred to as PoE Plus, which supplies 48 volts of power to the WAP. Now, if you look at the underside of the WAP, you'll notice 4 different ports that will each accept a network cable. All of these ports allow for PoE. However, we do want to make sure to use the proper port for its specific purpose. The first port on the left is the LAN port, which is the port we want to use when connecting to a network switch or even a PoE injector. This port allows for communication and control with a PC or a third-party system. The next 2 ports are used when combining a wireless system with a wired Plexus system, expanding the functionality beyond what a simple standalone wireless system offers. And then the last port on the right is a Dante port, allowing up to 8 channels of bidirectional audio to be used. For example, you can send a mixed output of all of the microphones to a DSP, which is then sent to ceiling speakers in the room for more sound reinforcement. The functionality of each of these different ports will be covered in a separate video. The last thing I'll point out on the connectivity of the WAP are the 2 green connectors here, which are balanced auxiliary audio inputs and output ports for sending or receiving analog audio in a similar way that I previously explained with the Dante mix. So let's go ahead and power up our WAP by connecting to the LAN port, which is the one we're going to want to use today. There is also a small on-off power switch next to the LAN port. If you don't notice power right away, double check that this switch is in the up position. You should now see LEDs flashing on the front of the WAP, but within about 20 seconds, you should see the LED change to green, indicating that it is booted and it is ready to be used. The next step will be making sure your WAP is in discovery mode. Being in discovery mode means that the WAP will allow the pairing connection of any microphone unit that has not previously been paired with it. My WAP is not in discovery mode, which is indicated by the solid green LED. To put it into discovery mode, I can press this button on top, and you'll notice the LED begins to flash. The WAP is now in discovery mode, allowing any new Flex unit to connect. Let's go ahead and place the batteries in the microphone base units. And we can power them up by pressing the speak button in the front. The screens will immediately light up and show an animation indicating it is searching for the WAP to connect to. After a short amount of time, the screen animation will show a connection confirmation and the microphone is ready to be used. That is indicated by this one here, and then you can see this one. And in a short period of time, that one will also connect. Now, it is not necessary to turn off discovery mode on the WAP, but if for some reason you have other Flex units that you don't want to be part of this system, for example, in an adjacent meeting room, you should then turn discovery mode off by pressing the top button of the WAP again. In my setup here, the microphones haven't yet been connected, but you can connect the microphones at any time. I'll go ahead and do that now. To get the microphone oriented properly, locate the little button at the bottom of the connector and turn it towards the back of the base unit. Gently press down and your mic is connected. You should now be able to activate any microphone by pressing the speak button. And when you speak into it, you should hear your voice coming from all the other connected units. That is it for our basic setup and operation of the hardware. The default settings within the system allow for up to 3 microphones to be active or live at the same time. And the volume is set at a mid-range volume level. If the default settings aren't exactly what you need for your setup, to make adjustments and much more, please check out the next video titled Confidea G4, Connecting a PC for Changing Settings. Thanks for watching.